Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to the Ironside cast with me, Matt. We'll be back on Fame Will Approach. Well, Fame Will Approach. Is it ML Major League version? I guess Major League version. Apparently, I did a mess up. There was another match that happened. Well, actually, there was two more matches that happened in the end of the tournament. I was, however, only given one of the matches. This is apparently another one of the matches, though. So we have another actual 1v1 here of the 1v1 finals. Need to see how that turns out for us, though. Anyway, we have the same players as last time. We have Alucard here, now it's the United States. They've not picked the commander yet. And we also have Muru as Panzerdivision straight at the gate for the Waffen-SS. That could be fascinating. We'll need to see how that turns out. I'm also trying out a new encoder setting. So we'll have to see how this actually works out for me in this case.
All right, you dopes, listen up.
Hopefully the new encoder setting will make it a lot more smoother looking. At least that's what I hope, but it might also make the files way bigger on my end. Who knows? Muru's sticking in with Alucard's sticking in with some echelon here. I might also be a little bit out of the way because the humidity in Denmark has been pretty damn high. Apparently it's been the hottest year, not hottest year, but the hottest summer technically, in 100,000 years, I believe it was, the scientists said. Absolutely ridiculous. Global warming is really getting hard. We need the government to actually take this shit seriously. On a global scale. Anyway, I have just had my water here ready, and we are gonna watch this fight and see how things turn out. It's like we are getting some Hitler Youth squads in the field here early for the Waffen-SS. The Hitler Youth will provide some cheaper alternative infantry for the Panzerdivision. We also have a Kugelwagen and an MG42 coming out. Meanwhile, the Americans are slowly spreading out here. Try to dig in with some sandbag walls. I wonder how long these matches will be though, because these 1v1s can be rather short potentially. You never know in Ironside / Spearhead. Can also be very long and very hard fought. That's where the best ones are. Kugelwagen immediately getting into action here, now opening fire on the American riflemen. By getting some more shots towards the Kugelwagen, but at long range, the arm of the Kugelwagen for some reason is too high. I really feel like in a Company of Heroes Free Spearhead, they managed to nail the balance of the light Jeep vehicles a lot better than in Ironside. That's just a personal opinion. I feel they're a little bit too tanky in this version of the game. Hitler Youth and Sturm Pioneer sitting up behind the stone wall here. And some good shots towards the riflemen at long range here. Long range, the Germans should be better, but the Americans are getting 30 caliber machine guns up and going. The Germans are getting an MG44 coming up behind us. Kugelwagen might be overextending here a bit. Yeah, lost that gunner there. Gonna force him back. 30 caliber moving around here, sitting up behind this bush and the wooden fence. Maybe it's late enough to specify. The Germans realize what's going on and have to pull back. Kugelwagen has to pull back here as well, but they can actually cover the point at least. Americans are pulling back, but the Americans can now secure the southern flank here. Americans are quickly pushing forwards here. I need to see how that turns off though. Pretty caliber wanting to find a spot and can sit up. Sitting around the open, but it will just cover the area at the moment. Germans do control the northern flank there with an MG44. Smoke rates being popped there. Looks like the Waffen-SS might be preparing for something. They do have to push through here, but that 30 caliber could make this very difficult. But that 30 caliber is out in the open. And the Germans do have cover here. So once that smoke clears, that 30 caliber could be in trouble. Especially now with the Kugelwagen opening fire. They just aim to suppress the thing. Yep, and it's suppressed. And that should make it an easy target for the rest of the German infantry. So you can see they're forcing the 30 caliber back. After this, quickly rushing forward, another MG44. Another 30 caliber sitting up. But the Germans are really running low on the equipment here, well, possibilities. They still control the northern point though. Will certainly help. The Germans will push back again. A lot of back and forth here. Because both players are trying to play it really well, the best of their abilities anyway. So for the Americans, I feel have the upper hand. But the club is now sitting up in a fortified position here. Some medical supplies into the ground. Nice and steadily. Fighting position being set up here by the United States, but the Kulwagen can spot it and cancels it. Kulwagen is now better to 2 as well. Making it more accurate. Grenadiers and Hitler U pushing up here. We have a little bit of a large force here. The Americans will realize potentially they cannot push up here easily. Actually, they're just controlling the environment at the moment, setting up barbed wire fields. Oh, is that an easy gun? No, that's a recoilless rifle. The Americans support a recoilless rifle with them. Kulwagen has to be cautious, lost its gunner there. That's going to allow the 30 caliber to be a little more safe. Germans have managed to get an MG-34 inside the structure. Hitler Youth have been suppressed. Sturmgrenadiers got some heavy cover though to work with. They've been suppressed, however. Oh, Realism merged in with the machine gun team. That's very smart. It's going to buy them a lot more time to work with here. And now this German infantry is completely pinned down, so they just have to get out of there. Building collapses to the grenades. MG-34 remains down here now. They'll be able to keep an eye on the area for a while. Another American 30 caliber set up here though. The Germans are certainly taking losses here. Kulwagen hiding behind the bushes here. Need to see if anything comes of that. I doubt it. Yeah, he's just pulling back to base safely. It's just taking a safer route. Americans are pushing up to get more ground and calling in an 80 gun. Might be a 57. I think that's a 57, and they're getting the small arms requisition upgrade. Pretty caliber now able to open find the Americans down here. Broken has been popped here. Americans were not able to decapture the points. But that 30 caliber threatens the German base. Once the smoke clears, I think this Sturmgrenadier can actually work to take out that machine gun. They just have to stay clear there and not get pinned. Kulwagen also getting shots in. Yeah, that 30 caliber sound trouble, but the Kulwagen is taking some shots. That might be the end of that 30 caliber. Yep, cleared out. MG-34 remains down here being a threat. But more and more Americans are getting ready to stick to the front line. One more stroke grenade being popped too, which I think is actually the Germans' advantage. At least at the moment. But there's a lack of good cover here for the Germans to utilize. There's a little well here, but it's also well within 30 caliber range. And the Americans, not the Americans, the Germans have to pull back again. But the Germans are slowly taking up behind this. What about the Americans? They're also taking up. See if anyone gets a vehicle first, but Muro has gone for an Untersturmführer. Looks like they want to have an officer in the field to see if that can give them an edge by calling in artillery strikes, potentially. You never know. Germans are moving around here, ready for another assault, potentially. Falling behind a Kugelwagen. The Kugelwagen has a lot of weight on its shoulders, doesn't it? But the Untersturmführer is going to go for the point. But the 30 caliber should be able to hit him. Yep, and it does. They'll be pinned there immediately. But the Kugelwagen could get some good shots in. Allows the rest of the troops to get out in position. And with the 30 caliber now being disabled, that's going to allow the rest of the German infantry to start advancing. MP4 just gets good shots in there. Hitler Youth are slowly advancing here, throwing grenades. Americans have gone for US Armored. We have Panzer versus Armored. That might be that Hitler Youth squad. Yep, note down that. Rifle grenades being used here, I think. Oh, it's not right for me. It was just one of the bullets. Just looked like a projectile being used. But this point will now fall into German hands, which will stiffen the loss of points. When the Americans are going to start losing points instead. MP40 equipped Storm Pioneers now in the field, including the MP40Is. So that's like a lot of automatic firepower on one squad. You also have a command Panzer IV F1. Pretty caliber's premium manned. Storm Grenadiers suffering losses because of it. Great assault being used here. Here comes the Panzer IV. But they do know there's a 57mm. Oh, Kulvan gets taken out. Hank has to be cautious. So he does manage to back off there safely. Because fire rifles are being used against it, but so far its armor is holding up. It's quickly being relocated to try and get another angle. Or at least just be a deterrent. Until we're calling here by the Untersturmführer. Or German infantry being pulled out. Or rather pushed forward, I should probably say. Artillery going in. Ooh, it's not going to hit anything though. And now that Panzer IV could be in trouble. So far it did manage to deflect. But another pretty clever on the flank prevents the German infantry from advancing. There's no real angle here to advance with. The tank will prevent it from being suppressed. But they have no cover here. Fortunately, they're not being shot that much for some reason. I guess you have some cover. Never mind. But they're being so hit now by the 30 caliber, so they have to pull back. Ooh, big shot there on the Panzer IV. It has to pull back. Smoke popped. Pack 40 quickly being pulled to the front line here for the Waffen-SS. Gets moving for cut off there. Point is now it's now neutralized, which is going to prevent the Germans from getting anything out of it. Tank can be repaired here though. We do see a Sherman A2 being prepared by the United States, which should be able to combat that Panzer IV F1 command tank very handily. Artillery strike in the 30 caliber, which is going to allow the Storm Grenadiers to try and go for the point. Yeah, the Germans are suffering losses, but they do manage to connect the point again, which gives them access to both munitions points again. Another A2 Sherman though, so the Germans need to prepare their AT. Untersturmführer is going to do his best to try and hold here behind the truck. Storm Pioneers quickly rushing up to take the front line too with the MP40s. You have MP40Is, which could actually suppress, or can actually suppress. But at this range, it seems like it's having difficulty hitting. Well, the MP40 is actually quite accurate range, as I understand. Panzer IV advancing here, but also run into a Sherman. And they cannot fight the Sherman. Here comes the Sherman. Commander injured there. Stop gun fails to penetrate the Sherman's frontal armor. Now this Sherman can just be on the roll. However, I believe, yeah, Panzer Faust are being upgraded here on the Storm Grenadiers, so they're waiting for the opportune time. Here they come now. And Panzer Faust. Almost taking out that Sherman entirely. Let's go for some Sherman back for a while. Looks like the officer's going to try and use the building here with some MP40s. Not having the best of luck at the moment. More Shermans are arriving. The Shermans will start arriving en masse. They are fairly cheap, especially if you're playing as US Armored. They reduced a lot in cost, I believe. Storm Pioneers got mowed down too, that's a big loss. Tank is being suppressed. Misses with shot because it's suppressed. You do have less accuracy when you are suppressed, and you also take far longer to aim and reload it. Like you try trying to load a pack while under heavy machine gun fire. Probably not a fun experience. Really pulling the pack further back as the 30 caliber pushes up. Imagine being under heavy fire from a machine gun just in general is like the most terrifying and horrible position you could be in as a soldier, or one of them anyway. I imagine artillery might actually be a little bit worse. But a high explosive, suppressive, high machine... I can't speak today. A heavy machine gun with suppressive fire on you is probably a very, very terrifying experience. One more A2s are coming out. Germans trying to take up fully here, but Mthis does have tech-up issues. Have a hard time getting into their tanks. At least in my experience and from what I've seen. Who knows though, perhaps this can turn around, I don't know. And they unfurled the bale on the thing and prepared their little flak gun. Well, not really little, that thing is actually pretty damn big. Fear walking around outside his vehicle now that obviously his tank got blown up. Pack needs to be very cautious. We're gonna have 3 Shermans, and with 3 Shermans, you can overwhelm a position if they all have 50 caliber machine guns equipped on top as well. Infantry support. It's very hard to deal with Shermans when they're amassed.
Sherman ready to go.
Shermans are pretty good tanks, not gonna lie, but it does look like Alucard has a lack of munitions. Probably thanks to the Germans controlling both the munitions points. It's just allowing the Germans to have more than enough munitions, but they're just lacking other units. Lacking in the specifics they need to destroy all these Shermans. They could start laying mines. That's always a tactic. They need to be... those Shermans drive into the mines, but the Shermans just gonna prepare to advance. Full on Sherman assault coming. And this lone pack is not gonna be able to stop them. Already been pinned there by all the machine guns. Now the Shermans are close, they're gonna start loading the high explosive rounds. One Panzerfaust, takes on one Sherman. But the pack is just under too much fire here. That's why you need to have defenses in front of the packs. The packs cannot operate on their own. Not looking good here for the Germans at all. Those Germans are just able to push through. Panzerjäger's moving up here. They are going to be upgraded with a Panzerstruck soon. Trying to in vain find a Panzerbüchse, but they're not going to hit much with it. At least they're not anything that'll actually pierce the Sherman. It's only a 55 caliber rifle, which is not enough to pierce the front of a Sherman. It was to lose one of their tech structures, but they do have their Panzer command up still. But getting a tank is going to be very expensive for them. Panzer on the Panzerjägers here. The Germans are very much with the back foot. Without the infantry command, they cannot get packs. Oh, that's a bad position to be in. Go grenades being popped here. Meanwhile, the Americans are playing up more of their terrain. I feel the Americans can't basically push in here if they can kill that Panzerjäger. We do see a Panzer IV being prepared by the Mthis, but will that be enough? Replacement Sherman being prepared here by the United States. All terrain cleared out. Not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all.
Reinforcements in. Welcome to the death factory, boys.
All Americans also positioned and ready. Taking their move. Heading out to the front lines.
We're all done over here.
Critical by now able to suppress all the German infantry that try to attempt anything. That Panzer IV is gonna really be a miracle worker. But against 3 Shermans soon, that's not gonna be an easy fight. That's what Jay making a move here. They spot one of the panzers. Misses. Shermans, I mean, misses. Oh, well, it didn't miss, but it deflected.
You're ready. Send orders.
It's because there are recoilless rifles.
Here's the thing.
Yep, that's a little bit of some damage there. The recoilless rifle has long range. Damn.
Captain just took the battlefield.
Goes for captain on the field of the United States here. Yeah, Muru is kind of in a bad spot.
Prepared for action. Stand ready,
Crews are preparing to make their move. And indeed, there's no side blockers here, which really makes holding this space very, very difficult. You don't even need side blockers for your base in Company of Heroes 2 on smaller maps I've found. Jim is heading for the southern flank, but that's gonna just open this Panzer IV for flanking. Keep the American seal happening. Ooh, Sherman. Oh, but the recoilless rifles hits. Those recoilless rifles should not be underestimated. Holy shit. And that Panzer IV is now in the stock position. Armor somehow holding up. And there it goes.
Heavy armor has been lost.
And with that, the Shermans and American infantry can start advancing. Looks like I have a tiebreaker. Unfortunately, I could not get the map to work, so I'm trying to ask around for what map they were playing on. But the Shermans are advancing forwards.
Looks like we're getting into the excitement. Where's that coming from?
And at this point, Moore surrenders. Completely understandable. And a victory for Alucards. Apparently I have a tiebreaker. I'll see if I can get that game up. I'll see you all next time, everyone. Bye bye!